Hello everybody, and welcome to today's episode of G-Bear Homesteading the Desert. Or I could have been prospecting the desert, or I could have been lazing around in the desert, or I could have been raising chickens in the desert. Either way, welcome to my desert. All right, we're looking at my shower tanks up here, and I was going to take this apart and move it today. Then I realized these two 55-gallon drums are full. So I have to empty those down a ways before I can move them. Well, I'm going to have to run a hose all the way up to my water tank and pump those into the water tank because I'm not going to waste it. That's all good water. And you can see water on top of the barrel right here. That's because that one T connection right there is leaking. I think you probably just saw a drop come out of it a second ago. But using these little metal flanges and RTV silicone with stainless steel screws, not a good idea. Every one of them leaked. I've said that before. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll be taking that apart, and I'll be threading that barrel with a pipe thread tap, and then putting a bushing into it, and then screwing this L directly into the bushing. And don't worry about it leaking again. That's how I did all my hose bibs over there on my big barrel. So we'll get that squared away. But then I got to thinking, oh my God, I got another problem. Originally, before I put that big water tank up there, I was using this water for cabin water. So this line comes down and goes underground and ties into the same 1-inch line that comes off my big tank underground here. Well, I found out something else today. Before I go any further, these two barrels up here are lower than that water tank's water head, because if I open that valve right there, which is the valve to let the water go from these barrels into the cabin, what actually happens is the water comes downhill from my big tank, comes up here and fills these tanks. So I'm not going to do that because this one's leaking, and I've got to drain that water down before it all just runs onto the ground. So that's my situation. So having that pipe running underground here, I went down 18 inches when I buried the main line. But I've got to watch out when I'm running my machine through here that I don't cut that line off, because that's going to be sticking out of the ground. So I got to figure out what I'm going to be doing with that after I get this dug. And we've been having hard freeze weather here the last couple of nights. I got up this morning and it was 21 degrees outside. And yeah, I had some water freezing problems. Well, all of my little water jugs here were all frozen solid, and that's just rainwater, so I'm not worried. But apparently the cold got to this valve right here and froze the water right there where it goes into the cabin. So tonight I'm going to wrap a big piece of insulation around there, just regular R19 house insulation, to keep that warm. But I also noticed if I keep the cabinet door open on the cabinet that's right here on the sink base side underneath the kitchen area, that's where my pump is, just about a foot in from this pipe. If I keep that cabinet open, the heat from the cabin goes inside that cabinet and will keep this pipe warm. So I'm still going to wrap it, but I'm going to leave the cabinet open tonight. It was no big deal. I didn't have anything break. It's just that when I got up this morning and I wanted to wash my hands and face before I and brush my teeth before I poured coffee, I didn't have any water inside there because it was frozen at this point. So as soon as I opened the sink valve and took the pressure off, the pump just kept on running. Couldn't get any water to build up pressure. So I solved that situation, and I'll be fine with that for tonight. And there's my geoengineers up there taking care of business. It's too nice of a day. It's beautiful, crystal blue skies here, clear as can be. It's warm and comfortable. I was walking around with just a t-shirt on today, and I went to a couple of my rock fields out here, and I picked up all kinds of neat little rocks that I've brought in. I got a whole bucket full over there. It's got to go into crusher, which I've got to get put together. So that's another thing. Too many things. All right. I put coat number 2 on this deck after I sealed all of the joints wherever there was a place where water could get down underneath them. So coat number 2 is on there. I still have a half a gallon, so I'm going to put 2 more coats on this, and we'll see how good that stuff is. It shows on the can where water beads up on it like a waxed car. So we'll see if that works on here. And then I'll dig around with my small shovel and expose the 2x4 face all the way around underneath, and I'll coat that up with whatever's left in the can. All right. Where are we going from here? Oh, pepper prepper. I think I got that right. Or pepper prepper. Anyway, it's a tongue twister. Asked me if I could use gray water, and I've been asked a couple of times what the hole in the ground over there is for, and that's where my gray water tank is going. The only thing that goes down my toilet and my sinks and my shower is gray water. No solid waste goes down there. So I'm going to be putting an underground tank there. I don't have to worry about freezing, so I can catch all that gray water and use it for irrigation. And he was asking, on the gray water, will it kill my trees and my plants because of the soaps? All right, well, years ago, yeah, that would have been true. But nowadays, I want to show you here, right here above my thumb. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Contains biodegradable surfactants. So it's biodegradable. This one here, this is laundry soap. And this one also says somewhere on here, contains biodegradable surfactants. Or right here, biodegradable surfactants. I'll get a little closer in there. So this one also, the anionic and non-ionic, that's right the same as this one here. That says anionic and non-ionic right there. So that's the same, biodegradable surfactants. So that won't hurt plants. The ammonia in large quantities will hurt plants. But for general cleaning, you only use like a half to 1 cup of this into a bunch of water. So that breaks down very quickly. Bleach, same thing. If you put large quantities of bleach, yeah, you're going to kill your plants. But when you got a cup of bleach broken down over 250 gallons of water in a storage tank, don't worry about it. It ain't going to hurt anything. I'm sure some of you have drained swimming pools that had chlorine in them into your lawn, and then your grass just got nice and green. So yeah, everything nowadays is pretty much biodegradable. It's all part of the EPA rules and regulations, and you don't have to worry anymore about that kind of stuff. All right. I did get over and re-nest all of the chicken coop today. It was getting a little bit built up in there because of the cold weather. I've been hunkered down for 2 days. This is a first day out. The winds were blowing at like anywhere from 10 to 24 miles per hour all through the night, and temperatures down below freezing. Just wasn't a nice time to be outside working. But I'm going to show you with the rain that we've got. I hope you can see this. There's grass growing. And you see her down there. And over here, yep, there's grass growing. And a big clump of regular grass growing right there. I'll let that get a little bit bigger. I'll dig it up and put it in a pot inside my garden house. All these piles of rocks that I have around here are all rocks that I originally raked up here before I parked the motorhome. And look, they all grew back. It's like lawn. You can cut them, but they grow back. But I went through all those piles and I picked up some nice ore samples out of there that I'm going to be crushing up and panning out as soon as I get my crusher put together. I know I keep saying that. Anyway, I got up there, looked in the tank this morning. There wasn't even a slightest bit of ice on top of the water or anything. That thing held its heat all night long, even though it was 21 degrees when I got up this morning. And the cabin stayed at 68 all night long with just that one little 10,000 BTU heater running in the kitchen. So that's about all for today, everybody. I'm going to go inside and get my dinner prepped, have a cold beer because it's not cold enough outside, and get things put together here and get ready for hopefully another nice day tomorrow. I think they said high pressure is going to be moving in. And I have a couple of my followers that say that they like looking around when I'm walking around here. A couple of more days and I can take down my Christmas cactus and put those away so that I can have them again next year. And everything is just calm as can be out here, no wind blowing. See, my flag is holding still. You can see my turbine isn't doing anything. It is just a beautiful day. I got a few things done. Got my lone raven over there walking around. Comes in and visits me every afternoon. Is not afraid of me. I mean, I've gotten within 3 or 4 feet of it. And it's always alone. It's never with any others. It doesn't bother the hens. It doesn't bother anything else on the campsite. So, don't forget, if you want, give me a thumbs up down there if you like my videos. We're going to get some good content going here pretty soon. Couple more days, and I won't be seeing you until next year. And then we'll get some things going there. I'm going to be running into town here pretty soon, get the stuff I need to finish up my roof over there on the back porch, get that watertight. And I haven't decided yet. I've been tossing around the idea of maybe screening in the front porch instead of the back porch, so I could sit out on the front porch with friends. It's a little bit bigger in the summertime. Be a nice little place to sit down, and the screen in will keep the bugs away. So I got to get things cleaned up, things put away. I don't need the cooler out for the winter, things like that. G-Bear signing off.